Welcome, you beautiful souls. So today's video, I'm going to go over how Helldivers 2 can actually save itself if Arrowhead, gets their head out of their ass. But before that, I want to show you guys a funny video because I was going through my older ones, and this one really just hits home. Look at this. This is an article I had found, and it says, "Oh, Helldivers 2 promises better comms mid-October and start addressing performance problems." You see, at this time frame, Arrowhead was basically just pumping out Warbond after Warbond, and the player base unanimously got together and said, no more Warbonds, fix the game. There's no point in making new Warbonds when we can't play the game because of performance issues. So Arrowhead was like, okay, we hear you guys. We hear you, and we're going to do better. Guess what happened when October came around? Not a goddamn thing. Did they make the game better? Hell no. You know what? Instead of a performance patch, they gave us a fucking balance patch. They literally dropped a balance patch. They made a lot of weapons just worse and then just moved on. And then they have the audacity to sit there and go, oops, the game's breaking at the seams now. We're sorry, guys. We're paying the price for our dumbassery. Like, you guys didn't even make new content in those 2 months. In September and October, you didn't drop a new Warbond. So what new content were you making? You weren't making you guys aren't even making most of the new content anyways. So what the fuck is Arrowhead doing? Like, it just blows my mind. Oh, that they keep getting away with this shit. But I digress. Like, here we go. Let's get into the actual video. Oh, whoops. And that's how to fix Helldivers 2. Like, look, we got too many Warbonds. You need to stop making Warbonds and fix the game. Like you said you would here. You need to actually follow through with that because the performance of this game is god-awful. It is absolutely horrendous, okay? Secondly, you're going to have to rework a lot of your older Warbonds. You are. I know you want to sit there and just like not even touch the older Warbonds and just move on to the next one because it's more profitable that way, but most of these Warbonds are redundant. Like, look, Viper Commandos got outclassed by Python Commandos. Fucking Siege Breakers is just like a wannabe version of, well, actually, it's probably a better version of Freedom's Flame, but definitely not better than Democratic Detonation. Well, actually, maybe now, because honestly, the Eruptor sucks. Like, I was trying to genuinely use it. Explosive radius is like barely nothing. Like, there's literally just no explosive radius at all. And it just sucks. It really does. From shot to shot, it takes so fucking long. And then when you actually get that shot out, it just barely does anything. It just, I don't know. From what it was to what we have now, it's not even a shadow of its former self. But I digress. Like, you guys do need to, like, work up your Warbonds. Honestly, what you should do is just make Democratic Detonations how it was on release. Same with Cutting Edge. Not with Polar Patriots, because that was fucking absolute garbage. Viper Commandos, you guys actually need to make melee good. And instead of having a melee increase damage, just increase melee damage flat out, remove the armor, remove the buff from it from the armor set, and give it something actually worthy of being a meleeer, like increased armor. So that way you can actually afford to survive fighting the fucking enemies up close. Like, it just blows my mind that Arrowhead sits there. They literally made melee weapons as meme weapons. And they'll sit there and say they're meme weapons because they don't do anything to improve upon them. And like, the Freedom's Flame, let's be honest, this has literally been outclassed by the Trench. Yeah, the Entrenched Division just completely replaced it. Like, and Siege Breakers is just, honestly, it is a better version of Democratic Detonations now that I think about it, because the grenade belt, the fucking stratagem is not that bad. The 2 stratagems you get from it are actually pretty fucking decent weapons compared to what you get from democratic detonations. And wow, now that I think about it, a lot of these war bonds are just literally shit versions of the older ones. In chemical agents, there's like no reason to get that. Instead of making like improving upon gas like you did with fire, you forgot about arc and gas. Like, and I don't even know how. It's like you've given us all these tools and weapons, and instead of actually making them something to use to bring, you cry about meta weapons, but don't give us a reason to pick anything other than the weapons that actually do stuff. Like, why am I gonna bring anything gas related when I could just bring fire, which actually does stuff? Like, it blows my mind. Why would I go ahead and use arc when I could just use fire and it's dead? Why would I confuse them with gas when I have fire and they're dead? Gas was good for a while. Don't get me wrong. The fact that it was like basically a better version of stun. But the thing is, they had it fall off. I've literally actually seen like the new enemies, the new Illuminates, they just walked through it. Yeah, he was bringing gas grenades and everything because I was like, yeah, because again, gas was actually somewhat good for its like control effect. It was a great crowd control effect. Now, just it's like you throw a gas grenade and you just see like 10 fucking robots stroll right through it with zero fucks given and start giving you the disco light treatment. It just, why? Why does this even exist now at this point? You need to go back and rework it. You need to make gas more of the crowd control that you wanted it to be. Because as it stands now, it's not really used or utilized to its full capability. And the same with stun. Stun is so fucking far behind. Where are you? There we go. Force of law. Like, come on. I'm not going to lie. When like Force of Law first came out, the primary sucked in it because stun sucked. But then they buffed stun, and you know what? It was actually really fucking good because you could stun the enemy, or like you could stun the heavier enemies to be able to run around to the weak points, like especially with Terminids or the automatons. Not so much Illuminates because they don't really have weak points. They're just pray and spray enemies, really. But I digress. They're fighting against 2 out of 3 enemies. Now it's stun is useless. Stun is just, they nerfed it. They fucking nerfed stun. See, I just don't understand. They keep adding all of these fucking things, then go, oh, you know what? It's too strong. We're going to nerf it. Which is funny because they want to sit there and say, well, we don't want to increase enemies' health because that will artificially make the game harder. Well, you know, on the other end of that spectrum is nerfing the player base to artificially make the game harder. So stick to your game philosophy or game design choice. Shit. And control group, honestly, the Epoch sucks. The Epoch just fucking sucks. I know people run around and say, oh, Epoch good. No, Epoch sucks. The armor in it sucks. The only reason to get this warbond is the fucking backpack. That's it. That is literally the only reason to get this. Because the guns suck. The variant, it isn't good. I like what they wanted to do with it, but no. Because what they wanted to do with it, it's like they had this design written down, and then when they implemented it, they didn't do half the shit they wrote down. Because when you shoot the variant as full cannon mode, you get one little tiny bullet. That's it. It shoots one round. You would think you shoot out like a cannon. It look more like a shotgun with just all barrels shooting, but no, it's one shot. And even then, it's like, why? I just used an entire clip, and now I got like 7 more shots to kill one enemy. Meanwhile, there's like 10 more of them coming at me. Like either stick to your goal or vision. Actually make it shoot from all the barrels and up the damage. Make it the when you switch to all barrel modes, that should be like your oh fuck, this is my last resort, I gotta blast ass mode. But it feels more like a pea shooter than anything. So again, they just need to completely rework the variant. Epoch, fucking make it actually good. I don't know why the Epoch blows up. There's no point when it's literally so fucking garbage. It's like they wanted to make an AoE version of the railgun, except the railgun actually serves its function. It can destroy heavy enemies, not as good as it used to, but it still get the job done eventually. The Epoch is like, why do I exist other than to ridicule the fan base? Because god damn, it just sucks. There's no point to bringing it. You could literally bring so any other weapon. You could bring a fucking melee weapon and it'd probably do more good than the Epoch. So yeah, just no. Dust Devils, honestly, I'm gonna say that maybe not. You don't have to do that much with the Dust Devils. I'd say is fine. And oddly enough, it's funny because Dust Devils is not, we know for damn sure wasn't made by Arrowhead, so Dust Devils was great. Oh, another version, and funny enough, Control Group was announced by Alexis as an S tier warbond, and guess which other one he said it was S tier? Polar Patriots. But you know what? Also fucking sucks ass. Because look, they give us another light weapon, and light weapons, you know what? Light weapons actually used to be really good when the game first came out, because we only had the Terminids and the automatons. And with the Terminids, we could strip the armor off the leg of a charger. Like one shot, like, and I don't mean like danger zone charge shot. I mean just one regular charge shot or safe charge shot from the railgun would strip the armor. And you could just shoot the leg with the light gun and melt that charger. It would die. Its leg would fall off and no more charger. The devs changed it. The devs said, no, that unique and fun gameplay loop, no. Now you gotta shoot the charger in the face. Or its butt. So, yeah, the devs actively ruined light penetration weapons. If you want to sit there and say, why do light pen weapons suck? It's because Arrowhead took design choices that made their own weapons obsolete. Yeah, let that sink in. And then they did the same with like energy weapons, essentially, because look, their Scorcher was fucking amazing because it was a strong weapon that actually had a decent sized AoE. And I just used it recently, and there's no AoE to it whatsoever, essentially. It's like 2 centimeters from it. So they nerfed the AoE radius, they nerfed the power of it, and it's like, this is why your game's dying, Arrowhead, because instead of making the weapons that are underperforming able to perform, you're taking the weapons that are performing and making them underperform. And it's just, it's hurting the player base. But you don't care because you only care about the profits. But let's keep going on. So with Truth Enforcers, honestly, with this one, yeah, this Warbond fucking sucks. God, this Warbond sucks so bad. There's like the SMG is really the only reason to get it. The shotgun is so ass. Like they wanted to make a, you know what you should do? You should make the shotgun, the actual spread version, medium pen. Then make it have a heavy pen freaking mode. The one where it shoots like a little rail, instead of it being stun, make it a heavy pen bolt. That would make the shotgun infinitely good. It would make it a nice spread clearer, and if you need to, you could switch over to a freaking hard pen shoot mode. But you guys don't, and it just makes me wonder why. Why do you guys limit your own game other than not to raise the players' expectations like Destiny 2 did? And same with Masters of Ceremony. Like, you need to make the freaking rifle medium pen, There's absolutely no reason it should be light pen. Have you guys never used a fucking rifle? You want to sit there and talk about realism. Have you ever used any form of bolt rifle? Have you seen the rounds? Those aren't fucking light pen rounds. It's like they think they put fucking 22 or I digress. As I already stated before, melee needs to just be an increased baseline. Remove the melee buff from the armor. Give it something else. Maybe an inspirational thing, like your character will move faster because of democracy. Or maybe you take a little, I don't know. But other than the armor, increased armor, because that's so just lazy. That's so fucking lazy. Armor shouldn't be having to armor should be adding unique things to the game, not increase baseline damage. This isn't a fucking RPG now. And again, Python Commandos is just a better version of fucking Viper Commandos, and that's, again, this is so depressing seeing how many war bonds are just upgrades from the old ones. More than half this list is just redundancy. That's, again, if you want to fix this game, Arrowhead, you're gonna have to fix the bugs, the performance, and go back and fix a lot of these war bonds. Because as it stands, you have all these war bonds, but more than half of them is not worth buying. So what's the point of them? And again, Redacted Regiment has no reason to exist other than those little commando missions you made just for this war bond. You literally made a mission type just for one war bond because you knew its existence was irrelevant otherwise. There's no point in silence weapons because silence weapons don't work. If you shoot an enemy, everybody in their fucking in a 6 blocks radius knows about it all of a sudden. It just makes no fucking sense. But even though prior, stealth actually worked. If you shot a fucking crossbow at an enemy where there was no enemies around and it killed them, the other enemies would run towards the explosion, look around confused as fuck, and then walk off. Stealth actually used to work. But then you changed it because you wanted to force the player into engagements because it wasn't fitting how you wanted the player to play. Even though in the game's release, you have fucking stealth gameplay in your trailer. If I'm sighing a lot, it's because this is depressing. It really is. I want this game to get better. I've been wanting to make this game get better. But if you look at my past videos, it's just me being incredibly butthurt because I was the old man yelling at the sky. And every time I would yell at the sky, they would get together and say, they gotta teach you no less. They gotta teach me a lesson, old man. Ay, ay, ay. And there's really just no reason to get either of these war bonds because, yeah, there's just no point to it. The ODST one sucks. Righteous Revenant. Honestly, Righteous Revenant isn't that bad. The sniper sucks. The sniper actually used to be fucking amazing, but now it sucks because they nerfed it into the ground. The SMG and assault rifle are whatever. Like, they're light weapons, and light weapons just suck because Arrowhead's game design choices made them suck. So, honestly, the only good thing is the armor, which gives you 40% debuff to gas, fire, and electric. But other than that, there's no point in bringing it. Honestly, the armor, even the armor buff is whatever. And another thing, armor buffs, they need to just completely rework them in general. Like Control Group, they just need a complete rework. A complete fucking rework. Because the whole, oh, you don't die until a couple more seconds is dumb. Or like it brings you back to life for a couple more seconds and then you die. That's dumb. That's literally dumb. Why? Then you have Savants of Freedom, which just basically says, hey, kill yourself so you can go boom. It's just dumb. Oh man, I forgot about Savants of Freedom. Honestly, like this war bond was good because the ultimatum could destroy like actual buildings, like the tower, because it was like a hell bomb in a pistol form. And then the dev said people were crying about it. It made the game too easy, which it really didn't. Because guess what? We got a stratagem that is literally does the same exact thing. So I don't know, man. It's like Arrowhead knows what they need to do. They just choose not to do it. But yeah, I feel like I kind of raged in this video unintentionally because just going through all these war bonds and seeing how many of them are just redundant trash, have just been literally replaced by a superior version of themselves, depresses the living shit out of me. It's almost as if Arrowhead wants the older stuff to be crap so everybody can go buy the new war bond candy. And actually looking at them side by side, it's very apparent. So yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to go and make another cup of coffee and try and have a good day. And I hope you all do too.